Good evening, everyone. This is Don. I just wanted to hop on Facebook as well as Zoom to kind of give a quick 30-day update on the company we call COTP, which is dealing with crypto arbitrage. And I'll do some screen sharing and get some information. And I know I might have to share this in our other crypto group. For some reason, it didn't allow me to do it in the beginning, but I'm gonna press anyway just to get this information out. If you got any questions, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to me, leave a comment, message me. I'm always here to help however I can. But I'm going to share my screen right quick. So what you're seeing right now is pretty much like our virtual desktop that kind of controls um, our COTP script to be able to run automatically versus us having to go in and and do this manually every two hours or so. So I wanted to pull up this first account, which is the first account that I had started out with, where I put $105 of pretty much profit money into this account. And as you see here, the balance is showing a little over $1,200. And I've been able to pull out, about $600 from this account. So kind of when you see this page, I know a lot of people that are looking to start or, um, you would pretty much, it'll be a link that, myself or someone would give you that you would sign up with, and then you would register. You register, with your cell phone number, and then you will set up a password, and then that's pretty much to be able to get a verification sent to your cell phone, and then that's once you verify it, you can fully, um, pretty much verify your account, and then that's when you'll be able to go here where pretty much in this COTP account, you can get started with as little as $9. So that's amazing. Where you could start with $9, and I know we got like a compounding calculator out there that shows that you can earn a little bit over $1 million in 1 year with just $9 that you pretty much set into this account, set it and forget it. It's growing daily, getting 3.3% up to about 3.6. And then as long as you have a script, you do that automatically. Um, and then if you don't, I'll show you kind of how you would do this manually. So here, would be kind of like your address that you would need to go copy and paste this. We recommend, go to Trust Wallet, which is probably one of the easiest platforms to kind of go be able to purchase USDT TRC20. So, as you see this up here, this blue bar up here with the TRC20, and then it has USDT. You just want to make sure when it comes to purchasing or funding your account, you want to make sure you have this one and not anything else where it has ERC20, which is the Ethereum blockchain, or even BSC, which would be like the Binance blockchain. So definitely, before, if you was to try to do this on your own, make sure you reach out to myself or somebody else that kind of helps you set up your account, to make sure you've done it correctly so you don't lose any funds. So that's pretty much kind of that part there where you would go to kind of recharge your account. Um, and I know for here, it kind of shows, where it just shows details of the funds where, for me, on March 17th is pretty much when I set up this account. And then some of these other transfers you see is coming from, my big account where I kind of talk to a lot of us, where you can double dip. So you can kind of set up one account, in your name. And then if you got a spouse, significant other, someone like that, you can set up another account in their name with their cell phone number, and pretty much you can fund that account as well. And then you're not only going to be able to get 3.3%, per day off of whatever they fund that account with. You're also going to get 15% a day off their profits on this account. So this is kind of what I recommend to do. Everybody don't recommend doing this, but it's just a way to kind of allow your money to grow a little bit faster. On top of the 3.3% that you're getting, you can kind of double dip as well, and do that. So here you kind of see um, some of the withdrawals or transfers is kind of where I pull it from my other account. And you were still able to use those. And for me, I use FTX, which is an exchange that has a crypto virtual debit card. So you can kind of use that in stores or online. It's a way where you can pretty much go straight from crypto and be able to use that the same day. So to be able to do a withdrawal from this account, and you'll get it in your account in about 2 to 5 minutes. So it's pretty quick once you do withdraw. Um, so to withdraw, you would click this withdraw tab, and then it's going to kind of have, whatever your available balance is. You will put that and set that up. There is like a 0.3% fee to be able to set, to be able to pull that funds out to go straight to whatever wallet that you want to use, which, you get paid in USDT, TRC20 as well. So you will do this transaction and password that you will set up on your account. They'll do another, cell phone text message verification. And then, before you do this, you'll have your withdrawal address set up that you want to send your funds to. So it's kind of simple. We got some, tutorial videos out there that kind of show you how to do the process. But I just kind of wanted to give a quick update on kind of, how much money, we were able to put in, and this was pretty much passively for 30 days. So, in this account, you see that it's $1,200 set up in this account. But as of yesterday, before I went to bed last night, I had a little bit over $8,200. So I'll do a quick little calculation, kind of while I'm on here now, to kind of show, where we may be at, at the moment. It may be close to $8,500 now. So as you see up top where it has total profits, that's where the total profits would have been at. And then it shows kind of a daily breakdown of, what you're getting, from $12 up to about $35 a day. And then here is where we kind of show, from your account that you will have set up that you can pretty much double dip. So from this one account that I set up first, it was a total of about $1,900 and 19 one a total of 1965, that pretty much came out of this first account that I set up. This next account here is it's the main account that, I pretty much started with about $500. And then I moved some more money to come into this account. And I think I got up to probably about 6, 7,000 is where, this account was set up to. And I pulled out already a little bit over $4,000 from this account, and I'm still seeing here where total assets is a little over 10,000. So the goal now is to let this account just build, continue to grow, and do some things that we need to do. So this income statistics tab is kind of where you see your daily profits at. The biggest things that you kind of really want to look at, I would say, would be total profits, like total amounts and order numbers. That's kind of, amount of orders of transactions that you're doing. And pretty much every 2 hours, most counts is pretty much getting between 5 to about 6 transactions to pretty much get your balance to under $5. So here it's just showing, how many times the total amounts here is just 10,000, which is my account, 10,000 over how many transactions that is there. So it kind of just keeps track of total numbers pretty much from the first day that this account was set up. Just going down a little bit to the beginning, I want to say this account was built on like the 19th, pretty much the 20th. It was like the end of the day on the 19th, but this is the first couple days is where, I had between 500 to about $1,500. And then, what I really want to show pretty much from the 1st of April is where, it really, really jumped up. And that's where I went from, $50 or so a day up to about, over $200 a day, on up to about $350 a day. And it kind of just varies depending on, if money was taken out and I withdrawn, and then you got your profits that are coming in. So it's been averaging pretty much, above the 270 a day range, which for the most part, $274 is going to get you a 6-figure income passively. So that's been my goal, for one, not just for my family, but this is why, we even share this information in the group, because we want to be able to set up, multiple streams of income. And COTP is definitely a company that's, very a lucrative company, but it's on steroids. But at the end of the day, like, this thing here is insane with some of these numbers that it's doing. This is not even accounting, the other platforms that we kind of share, that are passive platforms, very good as well. But this one right now has kind of been the bread and butter, where depending on what your goal is, you can double whatever you're going to invest into your account in less than 30 days. So, it's pretty much going to probably double and maybe another, 15%, even on top of that or whatever within that 30-day period. So you see here, my total right now with this account is 6202. It already has me over 8,500. Not even going to here. way. All right, so as of today, with the both accounts that I got set up, for me and my wife, we're sitting at 8617 in 30, 31 days. And this is just pretty much, allowing our money to sit here versus putting it in a savings account, or even in some of the other things that are, getting 10% a year, which is great, before crypto kind of came out. But crypto arbitrage is something that's been around for years. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm mad that I actually just kind of found out about this, but it's definitely a blessing to be able to share this, with other families. But crypto arbitrage is pretty much just being able to, have a buyer and a seller. You have the different exchanges that are out there that have, like Coinbase, and even Binance, that have different fees that they charge. And we pretty much meet people in the middle where they're not paying the most expensive, but they win, and then we, the company, win. So, when you sell, you pretty much get the difference of that. So say, you had something that, was charging, a dollar or so, um, per dollar amount that's in that account. You would pretty much get the difference, if it was 80%, not 80%, but 80 cents. So you would get that 20% that 20-cent difference in profit. And then that's pretty much kind of how the company pays us. Of course, if they're paying us 3.3 to 3.6% a day, clearly they're getting much more. And that's how this company is very sustainable. But that's just kind of how crypto arbitrage works, where everybody win. It's a you know a win-win situation from the company, the people that are buying and selling crypto, as well as us that are doing the crypto arbitrage. And similar companies like Robinhood, they kind of do the same thing. So that's kind of how you wonder, how are you able to utilize that app and you're not paying any fees, you're not paying any upfront fees, but we are still paying fees when it comes to when you're buying and selling stocks. They may put a little, it might be a little bit kicker on how much that stock is. They're buying the stock in buck, to be able to, have a type of platform set up like that to be able to purchase and sell stock. And that's kind of similar to kind of how, crypto arbitrage is working as well, but it's working when it comes to the different exchanges, foreign currency. Those are the different things that we kind of deal with. And we're pretty much helping the buyer save some money from the most expensive, but we're getting a cut as well for being able to provide that service to them. So that's a kind of a quick update, on how much money that I was able to make, which is a little over $8,600. The goal now is to run that main account up to, over 20,000 and just kind of let it build. And then you can kind of, it's up to you, after you kind of double your money, you can pull it out and get into house money. That's kind of what we recommend. Or if you're looking at long term, you can kind of set it and forget it and just let your gains kind of build up and just watch it. And you can take some here and there if you need it. And then you just utilize this platform to kind of grow your assets at a very accelerated pace. So I'm very excited to kind of see, what this platform has been able to do. And I'm gonna be honest, for me, this is one of the first platforms that I've been able to earn this kind of money passively without really having to refer it. Of course, the company does give an option to refer it to help a lot of other people. But you're going to make great money even if you just want to set this up for you. You're kind of grow your assets and to build that generational wealth, because that's what it's about. And you can do that at pretty much 23% a week or so. is what you're going to pretty much, be seeing those gains. And every day is continuing to grow. Um, Let me see if I went over everything that really needs to be seen on these accounts. Um, so the only other thing that I wanted to kind of mention would be the identity authentication. So you'll just make sure when you first register and set up your account, you will take a selfie with your driver license, and then you will upload that into this account. And you pretty much need to have that to be able to withdraw from the account. So it's what they call the KYC, know your customer, and it's just to make sure you are who you say you are, and then you'll be good to go. It's a pretty quick process once you take a selfie with your driver license and get that updated, and then you go from there. Let's see. So the only other thing, I mean, you can take your money out. I think we kind of show this in the videos, but every 2 hours and about 10 minutes, our script runs and that resets. So like this button here that has the immediate competition for orders. If you was doing this manually, you can do that manually and click it, and then it'll basically bring up, maybe 4 to 5 different transactions that you got to confirm. And then pretty much, once your balance is under that $5 uh, amount in your wallet, then pretty much you're done. And then it's going to run that for that 2 hours and 10 minutes. Then once it's done, they dump it back into your wallet, and then you can either withdraw it or you can allow it to be put back into transaction to build you some more money. So this is a quick 30-day update about COTP, which is called Crypto OTC Trading Platform. It's a crypto arbitrage company that we have been partnered with that is helping many, many families. So if you have any questions, definitely don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you for your time. Everyone have a good night.